Welcome back, Raider Nation. You are tuned in. GrimeCast Media, straight out the Inland Empire here in Southern California. I am Raider Dave. It is Victory Monday. Today is November 9th in the year of 2020. The Raiders are 5-3. The Raiders get the big win in SoFi Stadium, the brand new SoFi Stadium, $5 billion plus to build that sucker. And the Raiders are 1-0 in the new stadium in LA. And it ends on an official review. You got both sidelines celebrating. You got the Chargers thinking they get the catch. You got the Raiders. They know the ball hit the ground. What was crazy, though, if you're watching on Fox, you could see it live during the play. You saw that ball hit the ground. The first three camera angles they started showing when they were reviewing it weren't quite conclusive, but then you see that one angle from the opposite side of the sideline, which picked up that clear footage of the ball hitting the ground. Now, I want to talk about Isaiah Johnson here because this is a big-time play.
Herbert's going to take the snap. Four-man rush, lob it to the right, high, caught, grabbed in the air, shaking, touchdown.
They still have to review.
They're looking at the replay as that ball popped out on the ground. Here we go, baby.
The ruling on the field has been changed. The receiver did not maintain control of the ball throughout the process of the catch. It's incomplete. Game over.
Jackpot! Vegas wins, baby!
Isaiah Johnson with the arm length. He comes up with two key back-to-back passes defended. Both of those were defended in tight windows. I know Mike Williams came down hard, hit his helmet, had to exit the game. Wasn't going to be available for the final play regardless. They use their size in this, man, and that's why we talked about this in the preview. You guys remember this, man. If you listen to the podcast on Friday, I talked about intriguing matchups, man. Isaiah Johnson was one I wanted to see out there. Now, this happened by luck with the injury of Trayvon Mullen out there. However, what a big win for the Raiders in the AFC West on the road again. They are 2-0 on the road in the AFC West. They are 4-1 on the road, period. It is on. The Road Dogs are in full force. We're going to get into this podcast. I will catch you guys after this short intro. Stay tuned. All right, let's set this off. You heard it in the open. The MVP of this game, Isaiah Johnson. He wins this game, man, with two game-winning touchdowns that are broken up in back-to-back plays in the final 10 seconds. Now check this stat coming out of the Associated Press. Johnson became the second player to break up game-winning touchdowns in the final 10 seconds in the past 20 years in the NFL. And guess what the other player was to do that 11 years ago was Champ Bailey, who's in the Hall of Fame 11 years ago. So let's get into this, man. The Raiders, they have now beaten the Chargers in 3 straight matchups. They swept them last year. They get the first game this year on the road in their new stadium. And we're going to see them again on a Thursday night later on in the season in Vegas. Derek Carr is now 7-6 in his career versus the Chargers. The Raiders, they improved their overall record to 5-3 through 8 games. You know we got the next 8 games with 5 of them at home. They are 3-2 in the AFC. They are 2-0 in the AFC West, and they are currently seeded 6th in the playoff spot. So now the Raiders, they have a projected 63% chance to make the playoffs. That comes with a projected record of 10-6, and they are now in control of their destiny. Yes, I'm going to say that. We're heading into Week 10, okay? So we control our own destiny. Win football games, baby. Let's get it. Derek Carr's playing good. The team's playing good. We're scrapping up an offensive line. It's on, baby. Defense is making plays at the right time. I'll take whatever we can get right now. But at the same time, I like what Derek Carr said best. Derek Carr's talking like Al Davis right now. We're going to take what we want, and that's what we are going to do, man. So Week 10, man, we got a big AFC showdown, AFC West showdown with the Denver Broncos in Las Vegas, and the Raiders, they are favored by 5 points already today on this Victory Monday. So, Raiders offense, man, let's get into it. They didn't dominate in the stat categories. They didn't dominate in time of possession. They did enough to run the football. You saw Devontae Booker. He was breaking off big runs. The offensive line just played so well. They were getting such a good push. They were without Colton Miller in this game. I mean, it's just crazy how that offensive line, literally, they were dominating when they wanted to, when they needed to. When it was time for a big play, that offensive line stepped up. Hats off to the offensive line, man. But what I liked most as far as the Raider offense, I liked the key drive, man, in the third quarter. The one where Darren Waller gets the touchdown and the goal line. The key drive, I mean, you had key third down conversions on that drive. You have a 3rd and 4, man, where Derek Carr goes deep to Hunter Renfrow for 53 yards. Now, Derek might have had the lane to take the run. But, man, he kept his eyes downfield, kept the chemistry with his receiver and Hunter Renfrow, and they hooked up on a big play on that one. Then you have the 3rd and 10 when they're at the Chargers 16, and Derek runs up the middle. The, torpedo dive over the line, tried to dive over the line, hit the ground. I mean, Derek Carr gets a big 12 yards on that play to sustain the drive, and then he follows up with a nice 2-yard pass to Darren Waller. And like I said, that drive just stood out for me because that was a key drive for this Raider team. Now I'm just going to go the play-by-play because the Nelson Aguilar pass, beautiful poise by Derek Carr in the pocket. He had faith in his offensive line.
3rd down and 10. The ball is at the Chargers 45. Let's see what they can come up with. Carr won't have much time. Chargers rush 4. Decent job this time, and Carr's going to go for the home run into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Aguilar loose for the touchdown.
Perfect executed play, especially when you're going for the big score. Okay, now next, we're going to talk about this defense. And I know there was some struggling moments. The Chargers started moving the ball late in the 4th quarter. But here's the key moment for me. Was on a muffed punt. And this is what I fed off of the play. Because you have KJ Hill, the rookie out of Ohio State. He loses track of the football. You have Kyle Wilbur who comes up big. But what I loved was the camera angle that we had during the game where you could see the Raider sideline. The emotion on the Raider sideline is what I fed off of, man. I felt the wind coming from that team emotion. You could see it in Max Crosby. You could see it in the team. Just that emotion from that moment gave me chills. I felt like this is Gruden's team. Gruden is proving everybody wrong. That raw emotion you got right there live during the game. At that moment, I felt a little old school Raider football in that moment, but anyway, let's talk about this defense a little bit. Jonathan Abram, man, he's got some big hits in this game, and he's smacking Charger offensive players all over the place. He's setting the tone. LaMarcus Joyner has stepped up. He's doing work in there as well, man. Both these guys combined for 22 tackles total in this game. We saw Nick Kwiatkowski, man. He finished this game with 13 total tackles. He also had that big hit on Herbert. I know they followed up with a touchdown on 4th down, but that was a 3rd down play where Herbert just ran into a wall. I mean, live, watching that, once again, when you're watching the game live, you could just hear the smack right there at the goal line. And then Max Crosby and Carl Nassib, man, they come up with a big sack on Herbert. And the pass rush was there. Now, here's the thing, man. This defense had 7 quarterback hits, which is pretty impressive. I'm glad that we were getting to the quarterback, and then you have Cleveland Farrell who steps up in this game. You see the big tackle for loss in a key moment. You see him doing work out there, and he comes up with 4 big QB hits on Herbert. You could see his impact in the game on the field. And we're just going to keep an eye on Cleveland Farrell, man, because he is developing. And once again, we just want to see more out of this defense as time, as these guys gel, as these guys put everything together. And we're going to see if Paul Gunther is the right fit as we proceed through the season. And then last, you guys already know the game ball in this one, the MVP on this defense was Isaiah Johnson with the 2 passing plays at the end of the game that he broke up. He was playing on emotion, but once again, his football field passion really showed, man. His effort, everything. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Isaiah Johnson on the field because he looks like another great Mike Mayock pick. And hopefully Trayvon Mullen, he'll be back. It's a hamstring. I believe he was questionable in that game, questionable to return. They didn't quite rule him out. So hopefully there's something there where Trayvon Mullen can get back on the field for this big game in Vegas versus Denver. And Alec Ingold also exits this game with a rib injury, so we're hoping for the best. He was ruled out once he was diagnosed with his injury, so that's going to pretty much wrap up today's podcast, guys, man. Give me your thoughts on this win, and what do you think moving forward, man? The next 8 games, can we go 6-2, or are we going to go 5-3 again? I'm going to say this team can go 11-5. I'm going to say 6-2 to finish these last 8 games. My main concern is starting to win football games at home, but if you're winning games on the road, that speaks volumes as well. And the good thing to set the tone for these 8 games already is that the Raiders so far in the first 2 weeks of November are 2-0 in November. November and December is when you want to win football games in the NFL. Hats off, Derek Carr, Isaiah Johnson, John Gruden, man. Shout out to the Raider football team. Everybody, this young football team, Mike Mayock finding the right players, man. Mark Davis with the new stadium. I'm excited, man. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm Raider Dave. I'm going to close this out for the day. We'll catch you later on this week for the game preview coming up with the Denver Broncos in Las Vegas. Till then, Raider Nation, I'm out. Peace.